Hi, everyone. I'm Dylan Stafford with UCLA Anderson. I'm an assistant dean, and I've been on the team that brought Dr. Cooper and the Being a Leader course, made that available the last couple of years. And with me is one of my very favorite alum, Paraag Lal, class of 2004. I have known Paraag. This is the 20th year of our friendship. I met him the very first day I started at UCLA Anderson, and I've traveled to India with Paraag. We went on one of our global immersions to India and Mumbai, and it's been a week in Kerala with his father on an ashram. I had a life-changing experience thanks to Paraag. I sat on an elephant. It was incredible. Met a living saint. Paraag, is more than just an alum. He's one of my dear friends. And Paraag did the Being a Leader course at UCLA that we hosted in the summer in 2019. So here we are in end of 2021. So this is kind of a nice interview because you've even had some perspective. But just 2 years ago, when I was doing a call to alumni, anybody like to do a leadership course, what was it, Paraag, that had you take the Being a Leader course, Being a Leader in the Effective Exercise of Leadership? What had you put yourself in the course 2 years ago?
It was interesting. I've done, first of all, hi, everyone. My name is Paraag. I have my own company now, PKP Investments, and it's just phenomenal. I had a career earlier on in the high-tech industry for 2 Fortune 500 companies for about 15 years. And then my dad got sick, and I left and started my own company while I took care of him. So it was a very challenging time. And, while I had a lot of background in leadership and courses that I did in corporate America, when this opportunity came and Dylan brought it to me, first of all, Warner was teaching it. So that was like a slam dunk. Like I wanted to do it with the man who invented the technology. The second thing was, it was just, could there be another way to look at what it is like to be a leader? What is it like, the fundamentals and the foundation of what a leader is? I mean, you never step back and think, what are the qualities? There's books written on it, like, okay, these are A, B, C, D, how to be a leader. But nothing actually ever took the world into who I am, and is experiencing, and searching within yourself of where is leadership for you, with, personally me, when I did the course, and I really wanted to, why I took the course was, I wanted to look at what is so unique way that as this course was presented to me, that I could look at myself and my qualities and where my leadership excels and where it's deficient, and where, I feel like I'm not enough, or where I am enough, or there's all these definitions. Of course, anybody can get a book and read like steps 1, 2, 3, but nobody gives you a book on what it's like to actually analyze yourself. And that's what was most interesting to me, was like what that discovery would be like, to peel back the onion and show what's running the show in my leadership. Am I being authentic in the moment? And if I'm not, where is that showing up? Am I compensating for something I'm deficient in? So that keeps me from being present and being a leader. So, those were the things I was really interested in peeling back the onion on. And as Dylan had, explained to me what Being the Leader course was about, I was like, wow. I mean, I don't have to read a book. I just have to show up and listen and be. I mean, there's not too many, courses you take where you're not taking notes and scribbling, and later on. Here, you just take the course, and it's the beingness and the exploration, which you really find out is where the leadership within you comes from. So.
Well, awesome. And yeah, for people listening, Paraag was a huge, active FEMBA Council leader, one of the executive board members on FEMBA Council. The original FEMBA Halloween party was held at Paraag's house. So you've been a leader your whole life. You're one of 3 brothers. You were a leader in your family in the chapter where your father needed support. So take us back. So 2 years ago, during the course, what do you remember getting out of the course sort of while you were in it?
Well, one of the biggest things was, and it was interesting going back and forth with Warner, was just the role that integrity and authenticity make in being a leader. I mean, we have these definitions of a leader: show no weakness, and you got to have all the answers. And what I discovered was, in doing the course, and especially going back and forth with Warner, was just like, whoa, you don't have to be perfect. The flaws that you show people, the fact that you're authentic, if you don't know, it's you don't have to compensate for something to pretend you know, to instill like false confidence by your team. It's just being authentic creates that confidence. So it was really the foundation of the integrity, and nothing works without integrity. Second thing was around, and by integrity, I mean integrity in your communication, integrity in your word when you give it to somebody, integrity in the fulfillment of the bigger mission of your company or the goals. It's the integrity around that, and specifically the words you choose when you choose to lead and when you communicate. Words are very powerful. So, and then the authenticity, that was just powerful because, like, to stand up there as a leader and just say, yep, I actually don't know the answers and I don't know how to do this, so I'm looking for the team. That's why you have a team. You don't see many leaders do that. It's always just, I got the answers and I'm supposed to have the answers. So, and then it's that also led into like realizing that there's something bigger than myself, meaning I can be a catalyst, as to cause something to happen on a team, in my businesses, in my family, in my relationships. But keeping in mind that it's a community, and something bigger than yourself is when you take the focus away from yourself when you're leading, and it's out there in your bigger mission, the why, what you're trying to create. It's bigger than yourself. So being a leader is not about you compensating and proving something to the world. It becomes about the higher mission the company's doing, the team's doing, the relationship is. And so that was another one. And the last one is just, I think I would say is just being cause in the matter. That's powerful because, anywhere you show up, after you take this being a leader course, they can drop you in the middle of, biggest chaos, and you show up and you have the skills, just that you're complete, and that the leadership skills you have by just being. And that was another thing, not trying to be, but the natural way of being, of who I am as a leader, and bringing that to any situation. You can be cause of the matter in, like my nieces, they fight. I'm the cause of the matter of being a leadership between them. With my two brothers, in my businesses, a couple of businesses with my brother, there's often disputes. So you could be causing the matter to, it's not only disputes, to not only resolve disputes, but also the creation of something bigger in the future. So those are some of the highlights I do remember around what I took away.
Were you valedictorian? I'm like, you just listed all four of the foundational factors 2 years after you did the course: integrity, authenticity, being given, being in action by something bigger than oneself, and being cause of the matter. That's not too bad, just off the cuff. I'm impressed, Paraag. I don't know if I could do that if I weren't like actively learning how to teach this course. Oh my God.
I'm one of the few people that take a course and go home and then study it the next week just so I can understand that I got something. So yeah, call me the nerd. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, we're UCLA. We love learning. Okay. Yeah. Now this one, I actually know one of the answers to this question, but what's really great about, so here we are, December of 2021, you did this course in the summer of 2019. So before COVID. Oh my gosh, it's like a lifetime ago. But the third question is, where have you seen the impact of the course in your career and or your life? And before you answer it, I just want to tell our audience, Paraag is now is it a lifetime? What's the term of your season ticket holders with the Rams?
For the next like 48 years, I've locked in my season tickets on the 50-yard line. Yeah.
So individual results will vary. Okay, individual results will vary. But 2 years after Paraag did the Being a Leader course, he is a lifetime season ticket holder with the Rams, and his tickets are on, was it 13-yard line?
The 50-yard line, the 13th row. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, 50-yard line, 13th row. They are sweet. And this human being took me to see the first the Rams and Cardinals games, the one where the Cardinals won. Now the Rams have even the score. Yes. But I'm like, well, dang, I should take this class. I want season tickets on the 50-yard line. We were we were underneath. Magic Johnson was right above us. It was awesome. Yeah. It was awesome. Okay, so seriously. So 2 years later, you did this course. You're president of your own company. You've got businesses with your brothers. You're very active in your extended family. You're making stuff happen. You were just in Florida this weekend for an ongoing growth and development seminar that you did about being a better investor. Where does the course impact? Where do you see the impact of the course now, 2 years after having done the course?
Well, wow. So let's see. After doing the course, I'm just trying to like go back in time 2 years. What has materialized? One was definitely in the I think the area of my business. I don't know much about quick service restaurants at the time, and doing right after being a leader course, one thing about being a leader is you could step into any situation like I was mentioning. So I went in, a dear friend of the family has quick service restaurants. So I partnered up with my elder brother, and it was just the interesting thing of, I don't have to come from a place of, I know how to do this. I know what it's like to be a leader, and I could be a leader in any situation, but I can learn pretty quickly. And so since then, we've got in the quick service restaurants business. I found a private equity investor who's backing us, giving us a pretty large facility to be able to purchase any quick service restaurants. And the person we partnered with already owned 18 quick service restaurants to date. So there was a partner who knew what they were doing, someone I could learn from. But who I would be is, I found the investor that we have that we're acquiring these quick service restaurant, boxes they call them, but whether it's a Jack in the Box, Burger King, or whatnot, and then bring your operations and management skills to it. So being a leader really allowed me to step into something that it's kind of daunting, going into a vertical in a business. I come from tech, so doing food and quick service restaurant, it's just something I wouldn't have thought of. So you become unstoppable in terms of really pursuing what it is that you want to create for yourself. Outside of that, since then, I've invested in 2 tech companies. One, we're hoping to purchase a already listed NASDAQ company early next year. So we'll be listed on the NASDAQ. So that's also, I'm on 2 boards. And it was just kind of interesting because it's who you show up for the board. I wasn't on the board prior to being a leader and helping guide the company to where it is today. They asked me to be part of the board. And now we're looking to, be listed on the NASDAQ. So I guess those are results I'm naming, but what it allowed me to do is, can I step into a quick service restaurant side? Can I continue to do tech, but it's on my own? It's not with the Intel and Cisco, business card that I used to carry for 15 years. It's PKP Investments and Prague. So it really gave me the confidence of just who I'm going to be being when I show up in, whether quick service restaurants, with the tech companies, meeting new investors. And then, as Dylan said, I was in Miami last week, and during the pandemic, I kind of was, everybody was locked in their home. So I taught myself stock options, and it was just kind of a fun thing to do. And now I've learned how to make passive income around my longest holding. So it's just kind of like the voice in your head of what you cannot do diminishes, and you can step into anything. And literally, I think that was the freedom I got, is I don't have to have the answers. I'll figure it out as I go along.
Wow, you said a lot. Wow, I want to take this course. I said it earlier. I'll say it again. I want to be like Paraag when I grow up. So I mean, it's some of the things that I hear that are, part of the course. The point of the course is one and only one purpose, and that is do the course the way it's designed. And at the end of the course, you will experience yourself being a leader and exercising leadership naturally, exercising leadership as your natural self-expression. Yes. And earlier you talked about integrity and authenticity, and you talked about like the integrity of your word, that, when I give my word, there's something, my word has value. It has integrity. I don't give it casually. And, and we talk about integrity as a positive phenomena, like gravity, not normative, not good or bad. It's not good gravity, bad gravity. It's just gravity. And when I relate to my word as who I am trustworthy. And my brother wants to go to business with me. A bigger box investor looks at me as a mentee that he can bring forward into a new business. And you yourself have the ability to participate beyond what you already know.
Yes.
Because the already always predictable default past-based future that would be for you would be to hang around the world of big tech and media. And, because you've got a proven track record, you got a resume. And what I admire about you is you really did reinvent yourself mid-career out of your love for your father. Mm-hmm. You had a career that most people would never, ever leave, and you had a superior commitment. right? You're the one of your three brothers. It was yours to do. And you didn't get resentful. You didn't get bitter. You said, okay, time to take care of father. You took care of your father for a decade. And oh, by the way, use the time to keep growing and developing. And this, this being a leader course was, another stair step on your really steep staircase.
Yeah, yeah. No,
I
it's
think,
true.
I think of you as Uncle Paraag, and there's like a worldwide diaspora of people who, for whom Uncle Paraag, right? Like, you're going to be a guru someday, in my opinion, in
No,
your family.
you're being too nice. No, I appreciate the words. Yeah, it was crazy. What you were saying is, it was daunting to leave a comfortable job that I had with Intel and Cisco. I was running all of their entertainment division, and it was kind of job that everybody wanted, and I just kind of left it because my father got Parkinson's, and you know, my father was everything to me, as my our family is. So tough decision to leave, but that's also being a leader. I mean, of course, came like 8 years after that, but it was just interesting to put it in context of, you get so far, and you brought up a great point, is we take leadership and we look back and we say, what I've done successful with, and let me apply what I've been successful in the past. Here, doing a being the leader course is just like, wait, yeah, it's cool that I learned a lot of good things that I could bring in my toolbox, but it's almost like I'm coming with an open vessel to say that I can lead from anywhere. It's just bringing myself to the moment of whatever it is that I'm creating, and that's where you create from. So it was just kind of like, if you go from the past, you'll be stuck in the box that you created in the past of, this is what I know leadership is, and you won't be able to expand because this is the way you're going to lead. Whereas if you open from a standpoint of, basically coming to the leadership role, as in, with integrity, with authenticity, with realizing that what you're out to do is bigger than what you're creating for yourself, it's powerful, because then you just show up and bring yourself to it, and then there's no gap to fill. You're just present to whatever is needed in the situation. So I hope that helped answer the question.
Well,
So.
it's perfect. It's perfect. And I know we're coming up on time, so but I just, for me personally, it was so fun. Thank you again for taking me to the Rams and when the Cardinals were in town. I mean, SoFi Stadium is so incredible. It's like, Los Angeles, we're going to host the Olympics. It's going to be the opening ceremony. You've got 50-yard line seats on the 13th row, and I just sat there next to you at that game, and, you're chill. You're talking to the people in front of you and behind you. You got your little village there. And it was awesome. It was like a stretch moment for me, myself. Because I love working at UCLA. We're in the future business, right? We, like, if you trust UCLA to be your partner for graduate school, our job is to earn your trust. Mm-hmm. And that's such an honorable way to make a living. I love what I get to do for a living, but I don't always see the results out there. And I was sitting next to you going, man, this is so cool. It's just like, it had that kind of impact of, like, sometimes, you can't unring a bell. Like, once you see it, whatever it is, for the first time, it's like, oh my God, I see that. Yeah. And I was just seeing, like, you really being bold, and, because I got to, be your friend for that decade, and it wasn't all easy. No. I mean, like, there was some serious life that you engaged with, you were on the court, and so it was just inspiring for me. Like, here's a human being that is making a difference for many, many people. And oh, by the way, he's also having a good time doing it. Like, it's not just, you're not a martyr on a cross, right? You're like, okay, people listening to this, he's got the whole thing where you drive all the way up to the gate. You skip every single line. It's so sweet. It's so sweet.
Yeah, I know my way to get in and out of SoFi without any problems. But yeah, you know what? I think to cap it off, I think what you said was kind of hits home. Like, it wasn't an easy path, and it's just who you're going to be when the challenges come down. My dad had Parkinson's, and if you know about Parkinson's, every year it gets tough and tougher for the person going through it, because their muscles stiffen and they shake, and it was just tough to see. But it was just like, constantly keep on telling yourself, who are you going to be in the situation? Who are you going to show up as for him? And then that's for how I took care of him. But then who am I going to show up in the rest of my life? Our lives are multifaceted, and being a leader, you just show up anywhere. And this course will definitely really get you in tune with who you are and complete any incompletions where you're just free to show up and lead from where you are without compensating for anything that you're lacking or missing or something that didn't go right in the past, or I failed in the past, so I can't do it now. No, it kind of erases that and gives you a blank canvas to start from. So
yeah, free to be and free to act. Yeah.
yes, yeah. So that's what I'd say. Yeah, and it was fun. It was fun going to the game. I enjoyed it with you. So it was a good time.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Paraag. Everyone, you've been listening to Paraag Lal, and Paraag, 2004, very successful alum, graduate of UCLA, and 2 years ago did the Being a Leader course. And thanks for taking the time to tell us about it, Paraag.
Pleasure. Thank you, Dylan.
Pleasure.
Bye, everyone.